Um, I'll be honest. As much as I follow what's happening in Venezuela, the massive hyperinflation, the fact that like a dollar can buy, what they say, 900,000 gallons of gas, a U.S. dollar can buy $1 in Venezuela. Those poor people over there just, they don't deserve this. But out of all the things that I've studied, them eating the prize black stallion horse from the zoo because they were starving, the 2 mile long lines to get beans and like rice and basic stuff. I never would thought I would hear of this one. This one slipped by me. Zero hedge. Venezuelan pirates spread fear across the Caribbean. Is this really the real Pirates of the Caribbean? Authored by Joseph Lefebvre via the Daily Caller. Vessels sailing in the vicinity of Trinidad and Tobago are now under threat of being the victims of piracy for the first time since the 1700s. According to a report from the Washington Post, in the wake of Venezuela's economic and societal collapse, criminals desperate to earn a living have taken up the centuries-old crime and are attacking yachts and fishing vessels along the coast of South America. Jeremy McDermott of Insight Crime, a nonprofit that studies organized crime in the region, told the Washington Post that, quote, it's criminal chaos, a free-for-all along the Venezuelan coast. Although there hasn't been much research into piracy in the Caribbean, one study from the nonprofit group Oceans Beyond Piracy found that pirate attacks in the region has risen by 163% between 2016 and 2017. Some experts fear that pirate activity and other crimes in the Caribbean Sea, now we're sharing the same dream, will increase as conditions in the socialist country continue to deteriorate. Quote, this reminds me of how the problem started off the coast of Eastern Africa, said Rudal Munilal, a politician from Trinidad and Tobago, while speaking to the Washington Post. What we're seeing, the piracy, the smuggling, it's the result of Venezuela's political and economic collapse. While the region has seen traffickers use ports in Trinidad to move drugs from Colombia and Venezuela to North America in the past, the new pirates are ratcheting up the violence to levels that haven't been seen by mariners in the region since the time of Blackbeard. What? One witness recounted his experience of being attacked by the pirates to reporters and stated that they were doused with hot oil, hacked with machetes, and thrown overboard. Then their boats were stolen. So they don't have weapons like guns, those kind of weapons. They prefer hot oil. Although Venezuela has a coast guard, one anonymous Venezuelan port official told the Washington Post that, quote, Venezuelan Coast Guard officers have been boarding anchored vessels and demanding money and food, leaving merchant ships and fishing vessels no choice but to anchor further away from the coast. And I realized off the first comment I saw, this is going to be the title of my video. Venezuela. So Venezuela is the new Somalia? Question mark. Wow. Before you think, oh, these criminals. Put yourself in a situation where you're literally starving to death. You would do anything to feed your family, especially if you have children. If you're single or whatever, mother, husband and wife, but you don't have kids, you're still going to want to eat. Believe me, you ain't just going to not want to eat. But you might not do some of the things you would be doing if you had kids in order to feed them. And this is not surprising, I should say, even though I didn't think this would ever happen. I'd be doing a video about this. Whoa, I didn't think about that. Not surprising at all. And you want to know what's more not surprising? The fact that the Coast Guard is boarding vessels needing money and food. Well, we've got the power. We with the Coast Guard, we can board any vessel in our waters we want, and basically give, what is it, a ransom? I mean, a king's ransom. What are you doing? They just want food, and money. Because with money you can buy some extra food and other things. So it's just a sad situation in Venezuela. Really sad to see this, and here we are trying to help with some Digibyte and all that stuff, but what a shame. Take care.